20 stories of adults who have shit themselves, according to Reddit. Number 20. Active labor, which is to say a woman who is pregnant and in labor. The body wants to expel anything in the colon, so I went before we left for the hospital. I guess I didn't get it all out. One really bad poo cramps on top of a contraction, which also felt like really bad poo cramps, and I decided it was time to waddle my happy ass into the bathroom to finish what I'd started at home. I finished, the baby came, much screaming, some sleep, friends and family, blah, blah, blah. My husband later told me that I'd sharted at that moment, so he grabbed the paper towel thing that lay on the bed, wadded it up and tossed it before anyone could see, and asked the nurse for a new one. I'd pissed myself in front of him at that point. Pregnancy is grand, so there was only a short moment of mortification. Come to think of it, I don't think I give him nearly as many blowjobs as he deserves. Ain't that the story of a typical lady? A response to this reads, pretty much everyone poops during labor. I work in a midwifery clinic and we take it as a good sign when a woman tells us she has to poo. It means we're getting pretty close to the birth. To any women reading this, don't be embarrassed, it's a non-event. No one cares, no one is judging you, and no one is at all disgusted by wiping up your poop. In fact, our main goal is to whisk it away before you can see to keep you from tensing up from shame and stalling your labor. Someone else responds, God bless you, my dear. Everybody poops. Number 19. IBS, which is an acronym for irritable bowel syndrome. It usually feels like a fart, but it isn't. I've abandoned many pairs of panties because of this. You know, part of me wants to say poor girl, but we don't know that it's just not a man that wears panties. You know, did I just assume his Now, I'm a bit more prepared and can listen to my body better, but usually I'll just run to the nearest bathroom. But I've had to just pull over and clean myself up with some glove box napkins. I'm a classy lady, if you say so. A response to this reads, my husband and kids had to wait in the car while I shat behind a tree in some random forest we were driving past. Another classy lady here. If you say so, lady. A response to the response says, I too have taken a shit on the side of a highway. Definitely better than shitting in your pants. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Okay. A response to the initial comment about irritable bowel syndrome says, guy with irritable bowel syndrome here as well. This made me laugh since I, too, have had to ditch a few pairs of underoos in my time. It happened to me twice in a car and once at a high school party with 100 people partying at a cabin in the woods. I just know my friend Michelle's parents found those things in the woods a few weeks later, and what the fucked hard. Long story short is that if it was my first real drinking party, I drank 2 beers, 5 Smirnoff Ices, went to pee, trusted a fart while peeing, and shit all over myself. The bathroom had a line of people waiting. What do? You gotta act fast. Wrapped the very dirty boxers in a spare hand towel from the linen closet and bolted. Ugh. Proceeded to go out the back door of the house. I tried to throw them in the woods inconspicuously, which is impossible in a hyper-crowded area. So I kinda did this weird shuffle past behind me, and there they lay, about 2 feet in the woods near the driveway. Found out that going commando is not all it's cracked up to be that day. This was like 15 years ago, so thank you for sparking that now funny memory. Good God. Number 18. 3 weeks after my first daughter was born, both my wife and I got severely ill. I call it hell flu. I was running a 104-degree fever and I was kind of delirious. I really don't know what exactly was going on in my head, but when the hot-ass diarrhea started running down my leg, my mind snapped out of its haze and I realized what I had done. I stripped off the shit-laden clothes and got them in the wash and clean 3D'd myself up. You ever been so dirty you got a clean 3D? Kyle, shut up. My wife never knew I shit myself, mostly because 2 hours later, I went to bed. And she will never let me live that down. He wet the bed. You shit yourself so hard you got a clean 3D. You wet the bed and she will not remember a thing. What is going on outside with the police? You know, every fucking day, the cops just spiraling around my house. You know they know where I live. Keeping an eye on me government style, and they just rolling around the house. Hey, I bet you he's trying to record right now. A response to this reads, my husband has shit the bed before. What? Jesus Christ. And I'm proud that I never brought it up again in either humor or anger. He would feel so humiliated. I just can't. I do make fun of how stank his farts are, though. I'm no saint. Look, this is a wonderful woman that is considerate enough to not bring up something that she knows might be embarrassing or bring him down. This is the type of bitch you marry. And there aren't a lot of them fucking around, you know what I mean? Oh boy. There aren't a lot of them fucking around. Number 17. I'd been out of town for work, and last night of the trip everyone went out to drink pretty heavily. The next day, I drove the 3 hours back home and felt just fine. Got home and was doing a little cleaning. While vacuuming my living room, I rotated my shoulders and just straight up shit myself. No warning. No idea it was coming. The worst part? I could see the toilet from where I was standing. It sounds like a win for you, bro, because if nobody else knows about it, then, you know, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I would imagine that a lot of people have probably like prairie dogged or farted and realized, oh shit, something coming out, you know what I mean? They got to run to the bathroom. But, you know, as long as nobody knows about it, then it's not a real danger story, you know. The crowded party scenario is the scarier one that you definitely want to avoid. Or like I've made my thumbnail, holy shit, this guy running shat himself one time. Oh man, and photographers are on deck, you know. It doesn't get any worse than that. I doubt there's going to be one in this list that's worse than that. A response to this one about shitting in his living room in eyesight of the toilet. Response. Jesus Christ. Reading all these stories of normal body movements and accidentally pooping yourself, I'm worried I'll be the next victim, or my husband will do it for the third time. Damn, you put your husband on blast in this thread like that? Wow. Number 16. Traveled with a friend through Thailand and got myself a pretty severe case of food poisoning. Eating that dirty food in them dirty countries. I'm just kidding, Taiwanese. If I have any Thai people watching my channel, you know, go cook up a dog for me or something. I'm kidding. Come on. The Thai don't cook dog, or do they? Probably not. I don't think so. No. Look. I'm just teasing. I love you. Leave a comment in the comment section. So I got some food poisoning in Thailand. Someday we wanted to take the ferry to Koh Phangan and took the bus down there, which was an 8-hour ride. The hell does this mean? I know it's a tilde key, but what does it mean? Approximately 8-hour ride. It means approximately. I figured, but why would he say it if it? Oh shit! I didn't mean the oh shit literal shit. You know what I'm talking about? But why would he need to put that if it means it's an approximation? All he would need to do was put an 8-hour ride, and not put the tilde key. You fucking bitch. This shit just blows my mind. You know what I mean? Derailing the whole... There's nothing wrong with it. Whatever. And took the bus down, which is an approximately 8-hour ride, you son of a bitch. I slept on the way down, not knowing what was to come. Woke up because I shat myself. Not hard. Just a bit. So I went down to the bus toilet and looked to look at how much I failed. The loo was literally just a hole in the bus. Holy fuck. I had to puke so hard I shat myself again. Dude, it's just like the South Park episode with Randy. I had to puke so hard I shat myself again. Later I found out it was such high velocity puking, I ripped my esophagus when I began puking blood while being on said ferry. Now this scares the hell out of me, guys. I'm considering taking up a little bit of sticking my finger down my throat to hasten the process of me taking off some weight. And you can rip your motherfucking esophagus, dude, from vomiting? Are you fucking kidding me? That shit's scary as hell. I really thought that'd be the end of me, and I'm going to die in the middle of nowhere without a phone, almost passed out. If it wasn't for my friend stayed the rest of the ferry trip on the toilet where I puked so hard I constantly couldn't control my sphincter. Had to stay 3 days in the hospital. Funny thing is, I considered not buying a travel insurance at the beginning, but I did in the end. Cost me €17. I don't know what the fuck that is. What is that? That's not, is it euro? It's gotta be euro. But yes, that's a euro, Kaio. You are so uneducated. Some of these damn symbols. And saved me €3,000 in a hospital bill. Nice. It was a nice trip though. Somebody else said, damn, that's rough. I did 2 months in Thailand and got food poisoning the last week there. Definitely threw up and shat, but nothing like that. It was the worst food poisoning I've ever had, though. In the entire night, I was feverish and felt like I was hallucinating. I felt like I was maliciously trapped in my hotel room and wouldn't be allowed to ever leave. It really fucked with my head all night, so I got maybe 20 minutes of sleep altogether. Legitimately felt like I was losing my mind. Never knew food poisoning could do that, but goddamn, that was vicious. That gives me an idea for a Reddit question, and I'm gonna go ahead and tag it with serious and see if I can get like 6 people to answer my question, because none of these things ever take off. My question is gonna be, let's see here. It's gonna be, no, you know what? I might as well save it to post it at the end of the video. And if you're so sweet that you want to go, upvote it or leave a comment, that'd be even better. My question is going to be this: what's the highest you've been legally? Or that should be phrased another way. What's the highest? What's the most high you can get legally? What provokes? What legal drug provokes the greatest high? Okay. I'll just write story in a question mark. I don't know. I don't fucking know. God, I'm the worst at these. Number 15. I was taking a drug test in the military. The observer normally just kind of, wait a minute, is this the same one? Yes. Can you imagine if I just dove into another list and continued? That'd be amazing. Number 15. I was taking a drug test in the military, and the observer normally just kind of stands behind you, but this dude was all up on my dick. My bladder kind of got shy, so I tried to force it out a little too hard and ended up sharting. It was enough that I felt it run down my leg, and I had to play it cool and turn in my sample bottle and sign paperwork while covered in shit. Good times. Anytime you need a payment. A responder reads, by observer, you are of course talking about the sacred job of meat gazer, right? The pecker checker. Oh God. Gotta make sure that you ain't swapping out them piss samples, baby. Make sure that piss comes out of the dick and goes straight into the freaking sample tube or cup. You know what I'm talking about? Now, with my patented new device that will allow you to just swish a little bit of clean sample piss in your pee hole and then pee that out before your actual piss, you'll be passing every drug test imaginable. You know, my Patreon page is in the description. Number 14, I had a day off with my best friend / roommate on Saturday and woke up early to make the most of my day. Good for you. Sitting at Panera at 8 a.m., feeling like a proper adult as we drink coffee, eat bagels, and are both reading newspapers. We both have our papers folded out in front of our faces. BFF puts hers down, and I put mine down. She looks at me straight in the face and says, "I just shit myself. I sharted. Will you judge me if I go throw my underwear away? I really don't want to drive all the way back to the apartment." Nope. Same straight face as her. I told her to wait while I grabbed some disinfectant wipes, like the Lysol ones for countertops, out of the car. Gotta make do, you know. Came back inside, she cleaned up, threw her shitty underwear away in the tampon bin attached to the stall wall, and came back out. Finished our papers and breakfast. She went the rest of the day commando and had a blast at a zoo feeding giraffes and shit. But not literal shit. It was one of the most nonchalant, non-judgmental, did we just become best friends? Yup. Want to do karate in the garage? Yup. Moments of my life. It was a great day in the joys of true friendship. I'm glad that you consider this noteworthy enough to pat yourself on the back and break your own arm. Jacking the fuck off, homie. God forbid you be not judgmental for one day in your bing bong ass life. So what I'm going to go ahead and assume is that you're a freaking woman. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly how you would tell this story to another girlfriend, the way that you've just told it to us. Okay? She said to me, "I shit myself," and I was like, "So I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm just that kind of girl." Yup. Or maybe if he's not a girl, he's a gay man. Because why is this your BFF? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Better be a female telling this story. Better be a female telling the story. Sorry, guys. I haven't even reached number 10 and I'm already starting to, you know what I mean? I need to, I'm trying to focus. Number 13, hellish. Okay, hellish food poisoning. It came out black. Damn. Black poo-poo butter. Did you know that when you've been bleeding internally, it doesn't make shit red, but black? But once it gets in water, red leaks out from it rapidly. I didn't know that either. I wish I didn't have to find out. I was throwing up at the same time, couldn't even stand up. Luckily, I have the best boyfriend in the world, so it got cleaned up. But that wasn't the end of it. The reason I got food poisoning was the stuff was tainted with staphylococcus. So in the days to follow, more than 40 skin ulcers developed all over my body. I almost died. That's fucking terrifying. This bitch said it was a honeydew melon. That's what you get for eating honeydew. I'm just playing. I'm very glad that she's fine. You know, many of us would just stay the fuck away from honeydew, like, you know, flat out. Not that, you know, that's going to save you from food poisoning in your life, you know. But fuck me, that scares the shit out of me. Like, there were beads of sweat forming on my head. Well, I can't pretend that I'm not hot as hell, and that's why I'm sweating right now. But the truth, it doesn't make it any less true. There were beads of sweat formed on my forehead just now. Bing bong. Pretend it's related to this story. Fuck me. Number 12, shit myself during family Christmas. You want to try reading that like less of a fucking robot? Shit myself during family Christmas. I farted and didn't know I full on shit myself, okay? I sat in for about an hour only to get up and realize my shit had sunk into the cushion. My mom called me an animal and I cried laughing. You sound like a fucking nightmare. An hour? Did you just think that the fart had really good stamina or something? Okay. Yeah, dude, I don't even know where to go with that. Did he just think it was a really hot fart? There's so many questions that this thing provokes, you know. But the idea that he, would laugh after he took a poop that went through his pants. The heat, you'd have felt the heat from it, Sometimes I fart so hard that I have to go up and run to the bathroom because the heat makes me think something is there. I'll literally go to the bathroom and take what I call precaution wipes, and then the toilet paper come back clean and you're like, what the fuck? That was a hot fart. That was a hot fart. Enough about my farts. Number 11. So I used to live around 1 mile from a train station, and I had to run to catch the train for a job interview. So I was in my best suit, running for a train, when I needed to fart. Never, ever trust a fart. So I sharted while running. He sharted while what? He sharted while running. I managed to catch the train and disposed of my shitty undercrackers in the train toilet. Got to my interview on time, in commando. Didn't get the job. I appreciate him telling the truth in this instance. Somebody said, now I'm imagining thousands of flies gathering outside the window and one of the interviewers dry heaving in a corner. Nothing says hire me like an Armani suit that smells like a shart. Oh, for the love of God. All right, let me get through this. Number 10. I was at my grandma's house watching a movie next to her electric heater. I fainted due to the heat. Sounds like a bitch writing this. I'm kidding. What? You fainted due to the heat? How old are you? Okay, no, they're saying that they're very sick. Let me read it from the beginning and not stop because disbelief. Number 10. I was at my grandma's house watching a movie next to her electric heater. I fainted due to the heat. I woke up to my grandmother carrying me to the bathroom with shit in my pants. God, I love that woman. So I guess you fainted and you voided your bowels. That's pretty intense. He writes bullet points in an edit. It says I was very sick at the time. It was also the middle of winter, so a few things played into why I fainted. Weird how this needed clearing up. Nigga, why it needed clearing up because like most people ain't just gonna fucking faint. You know what I'm talking about? They also clear up, I'm a woman, so no, grandma didn't have to carry a grown man. No, she is not a weightlifter. She was able to put my arm around her and have me do the half walking sort of carrying before I was up. Oh my God, shut up. Yes, my parents taught me how to properly hydrate. Fan-fucking-tastic. When I'm getting a call, it just decreases the volume of the bing-bong ass fucking, music I'm listening to. So now I have to shut down Skype and restart my song. This serves me right for talking to like 2 people, right? Because then they start... Just calm it on down, Kyle. Number 9. I really like these prunes. I'm going to finish off this 1 kilogram of prunes and wash it down with some beer. And then he shit himself. Somebody said I imagine it looked like Coca-Cola. Oh. Effervescent. Number 8. How have I shit myself as an adult? Let me count the ways. Once I leaned too far to take the parking brake off in my truck. Shit myself. Waddled into a gas station and cut my underwear off with a pocket knife and left them in the trash can. At work in my office, I was taking a pee and trusted a fart that I shouldn't have. Cut my underwear off in the stall and just walked straight out of work to my vehicle and left. It was not the best day to wear gray pants. Driving down the interstate, couldn't make it to the exit. Started shitting myself, so I pulled over and made a run to the tree line and finished my shit while holding onto a tree. I had to cut my underwear off and use them as toilet paper because in my haste I didn't grab napkins. I went camping once. At 3 a.m. I was awoken by my body actively trying to shit itself. Climbed out of the sleeping bag, ran to the closest tree while shitting myself, cut my underwear up to use as toilet paper because I ran away and didn't grab any. Walked back to the camp naked, only wearing socks. It was 16 degrees. Moral of the story, kids, always carry a pocket knife. This is like the best commercial for a pocket knife I've ever heard. Because you never know when you'll have to cut your underwear off at a gas station. Wow. I can imagine you to be the kind of guy who just cuts his underwear off to change into pajamas. It's time to cut my underwear off. He says, nah, at home I just rip them off like a pro basketball player takes off the rip away pants. Okay. Number 7. I had an MRI scan on my lower abdomen, and the tracer fluid I had to drink made me shit myself on the way home. They did warn me, but I felt fine until it was too late. Someone responds, yeah, I took a bunch of opioids when I had kidney stones and got the constipation from hell. They did a CT scan with contrast, and I was told at the time, yeah, this contrast is dual acting. It both diagnoses and cures. It'd be a good idea if you stay near a bathroom tomorrow. Apparently, contrast acts like a laxative. Who knew? And boy howdy, when they're not kidding. I had literally 1 minute warning, and then all the crap that had been blocked up for 10 days just came firing out of my asshole. It finally let loose. In less than 30 seconds, I didn't have to strain. I didn't have to exert any effort whatsoever. It was pretty much a religious experience. I just kind of sat there for a few minutes afterward, limp as a dish rag, enjoying the afterglow. One of the best feelings in my life. Better than most of the sex I've ever had. And now for the comment, it will forever stand up as my top rated. Not sure whether that is awesome or kinda sad. Wow. Somebody said the afterglow of glorious release is real. Glad you got to experience it. Somebody else said, I deserved it after that month. I got a bladder infection, a good 2 to 6, good 6 to 7 on the pain scale every time I had to pee, which was often. And kidney stones were the root of the cause. Excuse me, Jesus. I just felt a knot in my esophagus. And kidney stones were the root cause. I had to pass 5 of the fuckers. Was doped up on Percocet for a week to keep the 9 to 10 on the pain scale notched down to a 7. Finally passed the stones, realized that opiates cause your colons to slow down too, and thus I didn't poop for 10 days. Spent the last 2 days of that time in 8 to 9 on the pain scale. Went to the emergency room and got a CAT scan and a Toradol. I love NSAIDs. What is going on? What are we talking about? My pain went from 8 to 0 in 10 minutes flat. And then the next day, it was weeks before I didn't wince a bit every time I went to the bathroom. Never before or since has my excretory system betrayed me like that. And that is why you always prescribe stool softeners with narcotics. Bing bong. Somebody else responds, I keep telling my heroin dealer this, but he seems to not want to diversify. Fucking Reddit. Number 6. I farted in the car on my way to work. I thought it felt weird. Maybe a bit bubbly. But I figured it was because the heated seat was making my ass crack sweaty. Sweaty ass crack ain't no joke. Sometimes I literally just put a paper towel back there before I go walking, because the last damn thing I want in the world is for a sweaty line of sweat to just crease it up in the back of my ass pants. In the back of my ass pants. What were we talking about? I stopped at the drive-thru to get a breakfast and felt something squishing between my butt cheeks. When I leaned over to get my wallet, I remember the cashier at McDonald's asking me if I'm okay because I must have had a strange look on my face when I realized I pooped my pants. Fortunately, due to the type of work I did at the time, I had a change of clothes, a shower, and a washer dryer at work. I was always the first one in, so nobody had any idea what happened. He didn't have any idea. You have any idea? Somebody responds, your car seat new, and chances are when you fire up the heated seat, you're reminded of it. Somebody said the car was burned afterward, then crushed in a hydraulic press, then dumped in the ocean. No witnesses left behind, even those that cannot talk. Somebody said that cashier fucking knew. As soon as you rolled down the window and that toasty shit would have hit them like a goddamn freight train. They knew, and they told. I've told this story before, but when I was first dating my now ex, says someone else responding, we were in the drive-thru at our local KFC. My stomach began doing the Macarena, hey Macarena, and I thought I could just maneuver one of those quiet, cheek-clenched, controlled farts. My bowels of fury had another plan in mind, and as I clenched to release the pressure, a foul, muddy torrent of the devil's pudding let loose. I burst into tears, my shame quickly soiling the seat, and cried out, I just pooped my pants! Right as the innocent KFC employees finished asking if he could take our order, laughter erupted from the speaker, and I had just screamed my poopy shame to a noon-packed restaurant. This made me laugh so fucking hard. Thank you so much. I needed to read that today. I hope somebody listening to this laughed. Fuck me. I just pooped my pants. Number 5. Food poisoning. I said that like Red Robin. Food poisoning. Yum. Twice. Second time I threw up all over my wife on our way home from the restaurant. I turned to her to say, honey, I don't feel so well. And wound up saying, honey, I'm so sorry. Somehow, we're still together after that. She's the best. That's her fetish. The shitting myself part came from throwing up so damn hard that it came out the other end too. We're still together after that, says a responder. I mean, if people break up because their spouse puke on them after a food poisoning, I don't think they were meant to be together in the first place. Somebody said, this is true, but people can be pretty petty. If she threw up on me, my poor gag reflex would have caused me to throw up on her, and we would have had a throw up fight. Just not a good scene, man. That might have been a relationship breaker. All I can picture is the scene from Family Guy. Who wants chowder? Peter, hold my ears back. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good let's talk about our favorite Family Guy sketches, because Family Guy is basic as hell, but he used to be pretty hilarious, and I can't lie, sometimes I just watch Family Guy to make sure that they don't have no funny sketches snuck in there. My favorite Family Guy sketch, if it's not the one where they're in the gentleman's club and they're just clearing their throat over and over loudly, it's the one where they're farting in the bathroom, or the one where Peter takes his phone into the bathroom and then drops it in the water. Either you know what I'm talking about or you don't. And he's just narrating what he's doing in there, having just dropped his phone. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Number 4, had just left a girl's place after a night out. Was about 6 a.m. I got in the car, started driving, and was about 15 minutes from home. I shat myself uncontrollably. About 5 minutes into the trip, it was like wearing a warm, doughy slush pit. When I got home, I ripped into the driveway, jumped out of the car and onto the grass, whipped my pants down, and hosed my ass off. Anyone awake that early would have had a great show with their morning coffee. Somebody said, I'm laughing so hard right now. How is this being ignored? I demand to know how. If I were your neighbor, I would have gotten a view of you hauling ass down our street, pulling into our driveway, waddling out of your car, fumbling with your garden hose while your legs are open, like you're riding an invisible horse, pulling your pants down, and then going to town, spraying your ass and taint, with what I assume to be a confused and grossed out and disappointed expression in your face. If I was far away enough, I wouldn't even be able to tell you had shit yourself. And to me, maybe you just like hosing down your ass and crotch after you. Oh man, I just got a little lightheaded. Holy shit. Got a hose down my ass and crotch. Oh man. Oh, I got car ass. I gotta hose it off. Oh man. Oh, baby. Maybe you felt something crawling back there. You thought a spider was trying to get in your butthole. And the only way to do it was just somebody said and maybe you just like hosing down your ass and crotch after your morning drive, as is tradition. My father hosed his ass, I hosed my ass, and now it's time for you to do the same, my son. Hose it down. This is kind of weird, Dad. Shut up, Butter Slice. You must do as your father did before you. Number 3, okay? Oh boy. So, damn, this is a crunchy one. So, I was going through a phase where I was obsessed with pistachios. That's right. I said pistachios. In about a week, I must have gone through a good few 50-gram bags. Just popping those suckers open and enjoying their salty goodness one after another. I loved those nuts and all was well. That was until Friday. I remember I just finished work, so I got a quick shower, changed into my lazy clothes, and jumped into bed. I felt absolutely fine as I reached for my unopened bag of pistachios on the side and began to work my way through them. After a while, I began to feel some strange gurglings down below, the kind that are loud enough to interrupt the TV and make you wonder at how strange the human body is. Well, it was about to get stranger because my stomach had decided to make its discomfort known through a series of smells. Now, I'm an adult, a grown-ass man with a job and responsibilities, but I'll be damned if I don't still find farts funny, especially farts that smell so ungodly that you can kind of taste them on the air. I remember with each new toot, there'd be a moment of silence as I waited for the warm, evil-smelling air to drift its way to my nostrils before exclaiming something like, "Fucking hell, that's not right," and then hooting like a fucking owl at my own foulness. Such fun, until it happened. The fart that we all fear, the one spoken about in hushed tones over campfires and in dark alleyways. I'm of course referring to he shart. I don't know why I started like highlighting the in the middle of that word. The shart. It started like any other, the familiar pressure and heat. Like judging the foot pedals in an unfamiliar car, you need to test it slightly and see how much give there was. You push slightly, then a little more, then more still, then disaster. Apparently that innocent little fart had been carrying some illegal stowaways, not little individually wrapped parcels of joy, oh no. I'm talking a tide of what looked like deep green porridge, an unholy swamp of foul-smelling nut surprise had been sprayed out of me like the worst pebble dashing in the history of mankind. To this day, I've never encountered a smell like that. Half pistachio, half turd, all evil. The smell haunts my dreams. Needless to say, I had another shower. Poem for your sprog arrives. There I sat in silent pleasure, testing basted tastes to treasure, relished funky odors flowing, happily pistachio blowing. There I sampled every stinking, funky, fetid fragrance drinking, each and every whiff and flavor, each and every sniff to savor. Oh, what awe until it altered. Oh, what fun until I faltered. Oh, my friends, it happens quickly, swiftly, strangely, sadly, sickly. Have you ever felt thunder undulate your buns asunder? Have you felt the uninvited roll of rotten bottoms blighted, friends and neighbors, brothers, sisters, mothers, father, misses, misters? Heed the guidance I'm imparting. Never run the risk of sharting. Someone said this was the shit. Get the fuck out of here. You people are nuts. But not pistachio nuts. You see what I did there? Waka waka. Is that good? People don't appreciate me, but you want to say that was the shit? You see what I'm saying? Boo. Oh, I'm reinventing the shit posting. You take a post about shit, and then you post that shit while reading the shit. This is some shit posting right here. Okay, I got the flu, says number 2. Shit posting number 2. See what I did there? Come on. All right. Shout out to Kyle's wish list. You know what I'm talking about? A bing bong. Not that. Maybe this. Maybe underwear. So that if I do shit myself, then we don't have to worry about it. You see what I'm talking about? Why is there underwear on my wish list? It's a lot of ridiculous things on my wish list. Now, some of these things make sense. Like that charger, because I lost my damn Fitbit charger. Look, number 2. That was good. Number 2, got the flu. Trusted a fart, and it was like water coming out of my butthole. Then when I thought it was out of my system, I farted again and continued to pee out my butt. I felt that feeling, bro, when the water running out of your poop hole. It just doesn't feel right, and you just want it to stop. This dude said this is his highest voted comment now about peeing out of his butt. Oh, Lord. What a world. The bum wee, says somebody else. Gavin? Oh, my God. Number 1, okay? We've made it. I went to take a shit, okay? I went to take a shit and forgot to pull my... You what? You what, mate? Oh, you what? I went to, how old are you? I want to know how old you are. I went to take a shit. You better have been high. I went to take a shit and forgot to pull my pants down. I just sat down on the toilet and shit my pants. Perfectly healthy, just distracted. Distracted by what? You ever in your life sat down on a toilet seat with your pants on? You wouldn't immediately be able to tell by the feel when your ass cheek greets the toilet. Wait a minute. This feels kind of strange. You know what I mean? If you're a man, you don't gotta like deal with your balls. You know. So I gotta fold my jalopy cocky sometimes to make sure that like not all of it, but like the tip is kind of going into the toilet, so that if when I'm schmangalanging, when I'm dropping it, you know, if I involuntarily release a little bit of pee, that at least it's aiming the right way. But if I just let it dangle all the way in, then it's gonna touch the water. My dick touched the water if I don't fold it the right way. Sometimes I gotta put a little bit of paper towel in there, you know what I mean, and then create like a raft scenario in there for my pee. What am I talking about? You can't do this, dude. What do you mean you didn't take your pants down? I just sat down on the toilet and shit my pants. Okay. Boxers kept it contained. I realized right away. So it was easy cleanup. Dropped them in the trash and went commando the rest of the day. What do you mean in the trash? Like outside trash? You better take that out immediately. My pants stank, but at the time I was working a job where it was okay to stink. Not shit stink, baby. Unless you work in like in a dump or something. What? It's a fertilizer plant, he says. In summer, surrounded by dead animals, chemicals, and various forms of industrial farm waste. You could take a full bath in human shit and smell better than anyone or anything there. You know, I almost didn't read this, but then I did. So there's that. As it pertains to the thing that I was gonna post, what legal drug provokes the greatest high? What legal What legal item is probably better? What legal item provokes the greatest high? If you've tried, what happened? Yeah, I hate how I worded it as well. I don't even know what to do there, really. Whatever. So, there's that. I'm gonna upload this video now. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you soon. Love you. Bye.